photography is our way of singing about God's wonders. Our nature photographs of God's creation are songs telling other people about the wonders of God. Now, photography can help us to look and to wonder. And when we look, we experience that sense of wonder. That sense of wonder is good for our minds and our hearts. Do you think God wants us to wonder about his creation and all of his works? When it comes to God and the things of God and his creation, there's a lot to wonder about. Think about the sandhill crane. Does it feel good to do what it's doing, that preening that it's doing? And why do birds so often when they preen, they keep going back to that same spot? Maybe it feels really good there, or maybe they have an itch. Why do they preen, right? It keeps their feathers and their skin conditioned, right? And look at the feathers of the birds. Birds have so many different types of feathers. They have flight feathers. They have feathers to keep them dry. They got feathers to keep them warm, right? And when we look at this photograph here, why does that sandhill crane have that red on its head and that orange eye? Why did God make it that way? Maybe biologists have discovered that purpose, but why? We need to wonder. They wondered, that's how they discover the purpose of why it's that color, if they have discovered the purpose. When we wonder at God's creation, we see his hand in it, and we better grasp the greatness of God and the wonder of God. But we shouldn't only wonder about God's creation. We definitely need to wonder about his word and all that he's told us in his word, the stories, the instructions on life, right? We need to wonder about those things. And the Bible talks about God's wonder and the wonder of who he is. And the greatest wonder is that he sent his son to die for us, right? That's the greatest wonder. The God of the universe sent his son. Part of the Godhead, part of the Trinity. Jesus came to earth as a little baby, and he grew as a boy, and he grew into a man, so he can experience life like us, and so he can teach us how to live, and ultimately so he can die on the cross for us, right? This whole story is like a stumbling block for many. For Muslims, for Jehovah's Witnesses, how could God become a person? They just can't take it. How could God die? And we know he didn't die, the body died. But that's still a wonder of how he could allow himself to be crucified. They can't grasp that because it's such a wonder. And we also need to wonder about his other works, like his work inside us.